Fancy. Welcome, everybody, to another improvised session of the Gluten Power Hour, the Semolina Sit Down. Today's a little different. As you may or may not have realized, there's no microphones here because, as I've already stated, we're living in the present because we were living in the past because the present is wireless, right? No encumbrances, okay? We're on Wi-Fi, strictly Wi-Fi right now. So bear with us. This is a learning process for us. We're getting better every single day, or we aim to get better every single day. And part of that is adapting to the technology because, as I've said, and we're going to keep saying, we got some interesting things happening very, very soon. We're going out into the world. We're speaking to interesting people in the industry. We're going to their places of business, and we're sitting down and we're talking real shit with them, as we may or may not be eating food as that happens. So,
hopefully just tasting, not eating too much.
Yeah.
Welcome to FancyBread. I'm Adrian.
I'm Ed.
And today we want to try a little bit something different. We want to engage with you. So if you're there in the audience, write us a comment. How are you feeling and why? Let us take care of the rest.
Yeah, but be respectful, okay?
Yeah.
Don't be fucking disrespectful.
Yeah, tell us something that you're feeling and something that makes you feel that way related to restaurants, or perhaps not. Maybe we'll figure out a way to put it into a restaurant. All right?
I wish I had a shot right now.
Yeah. How you feeling today, buddy?
Me, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I slept like a little girl. I had a bagel this morning. I had a fantastic coffee. You know what I'm doing with coffee now? I'm putting a little cinnamon in there. I know people don't like cinnamon in their coffee, but I brew a double espresso. I put a little cinnamon. I mix it. I integrate it as much as I can. Then I put it in a glass. I put ice. I put a little milk. It's like a cinnamon iced latte.
Since you're such a coffee aficionado, what is the biggest no for you in a coffee?
The biggest no for me in a coffee is a ton of sweetener, a ton of sugar. A super sweet coffee drink is a sin to me.
But what about when you do a coladito, and they do
I ask for less sugar.
You ask for less sugar?
In a colada, less
those
sugar.
Things are just like a
Yeah.
bomb.
I feel like sugar is making drinks overly sweet is something like that puts you on the spectrum a little more, you know? Yeah. I feel like if you're on the spectrum, it's directly correlated to you liking overly sweet drinks. Like Starbucks, for example. I don't know, man. The Starbucks success sickens me because they have terrible coffee, but Starbucks isn't a coffee company. Starbucks is a company that sells coffee drinks. And for the person who got hit by a truck, they happen to also sell regular coffee. Have you ever had, you don't drink coffee, but
No.
makes sense to me how you think Starbucks is good coffee. And I don't know, I think you got possessed by an alien or something because it's the worst coffee there is. So that whole world, the Frappuccino world, all of the sugar in the coffee, all this stuff is retarded, man. Is retarded. Give me a delicious coffee, froth a little milk, done. I don't need sugar in my coffee. And this is like an adult thing.
Yeah. By the way, if you just got here, baby, let us know what your coffee order is, please. That's what we're trying to figure out. That's what Ed wants to talk about.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of coffee, what is something that you don't like coffee on? And I'm not talking about just the drink. I mean in food-wise. Like, what do you like when they add coffee or espresso beans or whatever, or what you don't like when they do that?
So coffee is kind of an enhancer. A secret ingredient in a very good, high-quality chocolate cake is coffee. A lot of people don't know this. It enhances the coffee, the chocolate flavor in a cake. It doesn't taste like coffee. It's just the acidity in the coffee brings out the chocolate. Ask any baker. Chocolate cake gets coffee in it. That's 100% of the thing. I don't find, ironically, I love ice cream, but I don't like coffee ice cream. There's a lot of things like that that are kind of counterintuitive. Like I love watermelon fruit, but I don't like watermelon anything else. Like just watermelon juice by itself is disgusting to me. But watermelon juice in my mouth as a byproduct of chewing on watermelon is okay. But like a glass of watermelon juice makes me want to vomit. It's disgusting. It's so gross. I'm glad you brought this coffee thing up because it brings me to something I'd like to talk about. It's these ridiculous food trends online where someone has a food trend and then the reviewer will test the food theory. So it's like, I saw this one today. This girl takes like honey and like coffee, and then she uses it like a frother, and she makes it like frothy. And then she takes any kind of milk, and then she takes raspberries, and then she foams it, and then basically you get like a beautiful frothy like latte with raspberries. And this guy's doing it side by side. Like he's seeing her video, and then he does it on his video, and then he tastes it, and he's like, mmm. So it's like, hold on. What bothers me about that is how you make it seem revolutionary that things that are delicious together are delicious. It's like obvious. It's like, oh, I'll give you reference of why this annoys me. It's like somebody saying to you, yo, I went out last night, crazy shit happened, crazy. Check this out. When it was time for dessert, I told the server, yo, bring me whatever you like. Son, blew my mind. You know what came out? A warm chocolate chip cookie. It gets crazy though. This is crazy. A warm chocolate chip cookie. Guess what was on top of the chocolate chip cookie? Ice cream.
Wow.
Dude, that shit was delicious. Like no fucking duh. Like, all right, take a raw piece of chicken, a brick, and salt, and make that shit taste good. Then I'll be impressed by your food hack. Like, this dude, like, how could that not be good? Why are you surprised that something that is good, even on paper, even in your mind, is good? That doesn't make any sense, right? I want to see a dude take a glass tray, throw a bunch of rocks in there, throw raw chicken, frog legs, pickles. That actually doesn't sound that bad, right? And throw it in the oven and be like, yo, if you happen to do this at 400 degrees, then you take it out. That's actually a secret hack. It melts the rocks and you know what I mean?
Yeah,
crazy.
A brick oven rock chicken.
Don't act like you are being creative when you take a tray and you say, dump pasta, then dump chicken, then dump cheese, a little cream cheese, some garlic, some tomatoes, some onions, then throw it in the oven. You're gonna be surprised. What am I gonna be surprised by?
And then you taste it, you're like, wow.
What am I gonna be surprised by? Surprised that ingredients that sound delicious, that go together,
by someone that knows how to do them?
Bro, it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense.
Speaking about knowing how to do it, somebody here said, bodega light and sweet, not a connoisseur though. That's how we like his coffee.
Bodega light and sweet, not a connoisseur though. I like a little light and sweet coffee because it brings me back to my roots. So that's okay. Because as a kid, as a Latino kid, you don't drink coffee with milk, you drink milk with coffee, right? Your parents fill up a cup with hot milk and then they put in a little bit of coffee and they sweeten it. That's how you develop, that's how you're getting your palate. That's okay. I like sweets. I don't like sweets in my coffee, but a little light and sweet coffee, that's okay. I'm gonna let that one slide.
If you're there, let us know how everything looks, how everything sounds. We're testing. We want to make sure that everything is perfect for you.
So yeah, man.
Go for it.
So that's the one I saw today. I saw this girl froth up a fucking thing, and the guy did it, and he was like, oh. I'm like, duh, motherfucker. Like, of course, all right? Make a coffee with fucking, like it's like people tried to get creative. They started making coffee with butter. How could that not be good? Then there's another coffee fad that was a coffee with olive oil. Again, a little savory, but the mouthfeel, coconut oil, the mouthfeel, the richness, all that stuff makes sense. I don't, it's just that, you know, it dumbs all of us down to make these things seem impressive. That is not impressive. Impress me by making a coffee with cottage cheese and vinegar and balsamic and like human flesh. Like, it's not impressive if you make a coffee that has raspberries and cream and toasted oats. Like, that's just, people are impressed by nothing.
Now that you mentioned that things that you don't like, what is that one thing because we spoke about things being synthetic and sometimes not giving a fuck. What is that one thing that you like in coffee that's your guilty pleasure? For example, like the pumpkin spice latte that I do in October. Is that something that you're favorite of?
That's my girl.
Even though that's not spunky.
No,
There's no pumpkin in pumpkin spice.
PSM is white girl shit. We don't do that. My guilty pleasure for coffee is I enjoy the raw taste of coffee now, like no sweetener, but I love sweets, you know? Every once in a while, I will go to a coffee shop and get a coffee drink that's a little sweet. But that's very rare. That's very rare. What do you need? You need this?
So you're gonna pass me that?
Bring it on, bro.
Bring it over here.
Bring it on. We're live here.
It's okay.
There we go.
Ah, it's-
Yeah. My guilty pleasure is sugar in coffee. I very rarely do it, but I'm not gonna lie. A little tiny café con leche, super light with sugar. It's
We
delicious.
got somebody else saying an espresso.
An espresso. Yeah, I dig an espresso. You know what I do with you know what I put in my espressos? A little salt.
Now, because of espresso.
But hold on, you gotta ask me why.
Oh.
I take an
A little salt
espresso,
in espresso.
take an espresso, I put some salt crystals, some like flor de sal,
Like the tiny ones
Sea
or the
salt.
flakes?
sea salt.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? What's that up?
I have no idea.
Coffee and salt. Sea
I
salt.
had no idea. But I feel like, I mean, sometimes when you know what I do at work now, I ring in a bottle of water for a guest and I don't give it to them. I take it because I make guests pay for their water. So I take a bottle of water, I drink a little bit, I fill it with lime juice, and then I put in a couple of teaspoons of sea salt. So it's like a grown-up lemonade. I think salt hydrates you. I'm not sure. I just feel like it's right, and that's all that matters to me.
There you go. Now, speaking of something that people like and something that people don't like, our restaurant recently renovated,
Yeah.
right? And what we mean renovated is everything: floors, ceilings, walls, tables, uniforms. Every dish got a little tweak. Like everything has a slight difference.
Yeah.
And something that is interesting that I hear from some guests is that they look dumbfounded. You know, like they just kind of looking around or whatever. You ask them if they need anything, and they're like, I don't know if you. Let me tell you something. I like this better before.
So they complain that they liked the pre-renovation.
The pre-renovation.
Yeah.
And when that happens, well, I always say, well, what did you like particularly about it before?
They say, I don't know.
They don't remember. They don't remember
They
most
say,
of
"I
the
don't
time. I don't know. What color? And then you start asking them the question: what color was the ceiling? They're like, how was the wall?
Yeah.
And do you remember our color of our uniforms? Like, what changed? What didn't
Yeah.
change?
Yeah.
Usually, what tends to be the issue is how they feel.
Right.
It's not necessarily.
It's an intangible.
It's not necessarily the place, because I always say that the problem with a repeat customer might be nostalgia, because usually the thing that customers has that they had such a great time because you keep asking those questions. Oh, how long ago did you came? What did you do that day? What were you celebrating? Oh, we came that time and we were with a bunch of friends. This table's up, for example. This is a two top of girls. And you're like, you're here by yourself. You're not here with your friends. You're gonna pay your bill. Of course, you're having a worse time than you hit that last time. What did you have last time? Oh, we had the big thing. We had all that. You're like, well, it's not what you're having now. So
Yeah.
clearly, it's not about the place.
It's about the experience.
It's about the experience that you're having.
It's about who's paying. It's who's paying for the experience.
Exactly. So sometimes people like to say things, but in reality, is you just have to look a little deeper. And when you ask a couple of questions, you find out that the real issue is that you're just unhappy with the experience that you're having or the experience that you provided yourself.
I think people's feelings are valid. It's like if
are.
somebody says they feel a certain way and they sincerely feel that way, I feel like their feelings are valid. But just because your feelings are valid doesn't mean they matter. It's like hey, Adrian, you know, I feel like this tone of gray doesn't make your skin tone look optimal. You could be like, hey, Edwin, you know, I appreciate your feeling. And it's valid because you feel it. But who gives a shit? You know what I mean? So you come into this, how does it change the quality? I don't think it does, because we serve the same food. We give people the same or better service. So it's just like you said, it's an intangible, and that's important. I get it. There's things you can't quantify, you can't write down, you can't teach. People just feel how they feel, but it's an opinion, you know? And you know, the architect showed me a long time ago that, you know, opinions are like assholes, right? Everyone has them, but they all stink, you know? Thanks, Lou.
Always full of wisdom.
Yeah.
You want to take it away with something else?
No, I'm good, man.
All right,
I want some coffee. That's all I want.
All right, perfect. Then you want to do something long or something a little short?
Whatever.
All right, then let's do a little short. Let's do a little short. What? I have a question. How do you feel about people arriving late in general, or arriving late to a restaurant, arriving late to the restoration, or arriving late to work? How do you feel about people arriving late, and what is it that you think that it affects by people arriving late?
It depends on the circumstance. Me personally, one of the things I take pride in is my punctuality. You know, nobody's perfect. Everyone has ups and downs. One of the ups that I've consistently work on is punctuality. I prefer to be an hour early to something than 5 minutes late to something. That's just the way that I feel, right? So it depends on the context. If I'm at work on time and somebody comes in late, I don't really care about that so much. It doesn't really affect me. I feel like if I'm waiting for somebody, if I'm waiting for you and you're not like somebody who's a big client or something, then, then I have to take it on the chin. It is what it is. Like I'm waiting for you and I need you for something like a business or something. That's part of the biz, Everybody needs somebody. But if I'm waiting for you, if you're my friend and we have an appointment to be somewhere at 8 o'clock and you show up at 8:30 and I'm there at 7:45, you're gonna hear it from me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, yo, where the fuck were you? I feel like I'm Jimmy Hoffa sometimes. Like I hate when people are late to something that we organized, to something that we did. In Miami, you could say it's a challenge in a lot of places.
Yeah.
But one of the infamous traits Miami has is that it's impossible to get anywhere. People on time anywhere, people flake, etc. Where lateness bothers me the most is when people come to the restaurant late. When people come to the restaurant late, that bothers me. And it still bothers me to this day. And we work in a late-ish restaurant where people come to eat dinner at 10 o'clock. But it still bothers me to this day when I see 4 people walk in and it's 10:30 and you could tell by the way that they look.
That's it.
Yeah. What about me? I'm good?
We got some love now. Here, baby.
Flattering me. Hey. You could tell by the way people act when they walk into a restaurant what their vibe is. Because if you walk in somewhere and it's late and you got to get it moving, you move a certain way. Yeah. You ask for the check when your entrees drop. You ask for the check when the entree drops. You're moving. You're considering the people around you. But when people show up late and they're casual about it, to this day, it still bothers me.
It's very inconsiderate.
It still bothers me to this day.
I always mention, in my personal side, I aim to be early at places. And the reason that I like to be early at places, not just that, I like to go at a certain pace. So I really like to start going really early. Like, for example, it takes me 30 minutes to get to work. It could take me 20 minutes to get to work if I really went fast, but I don't want to do that. So I tend to go to work an hour and 15 minutes before. And it's sometimes hard to start like the hour and 15 start because obviously we have so many things going on, but I like to do so because traffic might be a thing, something might happen along the way, maybe you want to stop and do something. So I personally like to extend the time that prior to so that I get on time and I just do so without being stressed. I dislike when I have to go somewhere and I'm like, I'm rushing because I'm gonna be late. That's such an I hate that.
I hate it as well.
Absolutely hate it. So whenever I want to leave somewhere early, it's not because I want to be early. It's because I want to just go relax and just be focused on this trip from here to there. Yeah. It's an experience and it's part of it, and I'm having a great time. Versus, oh my God, we're gonna be late. Oh my God, maybe they're gonna give my table away. Or what's gonna happen? It's something that I personally don't enjoy.
Right.
Now,
if you have a flight and you board at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
What time do you show up at the airport?
I'm usually at the airport 1 hour before the time where you do check-in.
You mean check-in or board? You usually
boarding.
Usually board half an hour.
Half an hour. So I'm usually at the airport an hour and 30 minutes before.
So
because
if you board,
I have the TSA pre-check. So it's like.
So wouldn't that mean that you should be there later?
I still like to be there.
You understand the way you said, because I have TSA pre-check would imply that you can afford being at the airport later.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight.
I still like to just go in.
So let me get this straight. So if you board at 6:30 in the morning, you like to be at the airport at 5.
At 7:30. Sorry, 5:30. Yeah, 5:30. Yeah,
All right, so you like to be an hour before you board.
an hour before I board. Yes.
Okay. So how often do you check in and you're sitting at the terminal to board way before you board? How often does that happen to you?
Not way before, because here's the thing, by me being at the place that I need to be in, I already know how much time it's gonna take me. TSA pre-check, usually 10 minutes, 15 the most. So I already know I can get to relax. I go sit outside, I chill. And then after I'm like, I got 30 minutes, I'm just gonna walk in with a breeze. I'm gonna pass
wait a minute,
through.
wait a minute.
So it's all about being in the place and just having that zen.
So you get to the airport and you chill before you even initiate the TSA pre-check line?
I go through the line, I see how it is, and then I'm like, I got time. I'm gonna walk out, relax, then go in, do the TSA pre-check, sit down.
Pick some flowers.
It's
cast a spell.
It's a vibe.
Cast a spell somewhere.
And when I go to work, to me, that's important because when I walk in at work with that vibe, the energy that you bring, the enthusiasm that you bring is so different. If you arrive, I aim to arrive to work 30 minutes before.
Yeah.
15 so I can get ready, and 15 so I can, because I always say that 1% of your day is 15 minutes. So I try to be 15 minutes early so I give at least my job or a conversation or something 1% of that time. So that's what I aim to do. Is it what happens all the time? Because things happen, unfortunately, and sometimes things outside of your comfort zone. That's why I try to do that.
Okay.
Now, going into restaurant, why do I don't personally like when people arrive late? When you arrive late, you affect things for everyone else. That is the issue with you arriving late to a restaurant, right? Because you say, oh, they can wait. I made a 7:15 reservation, and you have 15-minute time, and you arrive there at 7:40, and you're complaining why your table's not ready, et cetera, et cetera. And then as you sit down, you enjoy your full experience, and then somebody else came at the right time. Now that person has to wait,
right?
And everything else is affected. Or if you're the last person, you say, "Oh, that's okay. I'm the last reservation coming in, and you come in super late." We all have to wait now and stay at that place instead of continue with our lives just because you decided to be there late. So the problem with you being late, not necessarily you, is that you affect it for everyone else. Now, I'm not saying, never be late because you're always going to affect people, but have it considered that other than you, there's more people that want to have the same experience as you. Even if you make a reservation for 7:15 and then you say, oh, I'm going to change that for 7:45 because there's plenty of 7:45. There were people that wanted the 7:15 that now they don't have it. Or let's say like 8:30, for example, that would be a more wantable reservation. So just by you getting something, it affects someone else that wanted to get it. And you change that, and then someone else is going to probably have to change that too. And in the end, everything might be affected because
how much an espresso
you don't have that.
is.
Like a guest, for example, right?
How much is an espresso machine?
An espresso machine? Oh, you're such a star employee. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know if you want to have a little something else you want to talk, because now I have a guest question here that was made for you, sir.
Throw it away.
All right, here we go.
Well, throw it out there. Throw it away too.
All right, so if you're on the show, as always, we like to have your questions and put them over here. Some of you have been personally coming to me or giving me a call, sending me text. Please go ahead and do so. I love it. This week's question, it's for Mr.
I get
Hulk
it?
Ed. Actually, I'm going to open it up because it's for you. I have no idea what they wrote, but I do know the question. It says, Dear Edwin Hulk, for those who don't know here, my dear friend here refers to himself like Mr. Banner, the Hulk, where he's always angry. That is the secret.
Are we going to read this?
No, it's just dear Mr. Hulk. I know the question, so it's
okay.
I'm gonna set it up, and it's just for you, sir.
Okay, I'm ready.
They want to know what it is.
I'm ready.
For a little bit of a backstory, the other day, Edwin and I we went to a concert together. A performance was fantastic, and I saw somebody passing behind you and hitting you with what seemed to be a huge inflatable flamingo. And for a moment there, I saw you look at this person, and I said, "Is he gonna? I'm ready if you are." Like for a second there, I thought, "Is the Hulk gonna come out?" Which brings us to the actual question.
Go ahead. I'm waiting.
And I'm gonna make it into a restaurant scenery so you can answer that.
Okay.
I'm certain that you have worked in a restaurant where there's AM staff, like lunch staff, breakfast staff, and dinner staff, right?
Yes, of course.
And I'm certain that at a certain point, you're working dinner. Let's say that you're in the dinner shift always. Somebody from lunch gets a shift that he or she picked up for dinner. And this person comes in and starts to bring this different energy and negativity because, oh, in the morning we don't do this, in the morning we do it like that. Why is it always such a mess here when you guys do PM? And it's just constantly bringing this negative energy about everything that you do in PM, which works, right? Because PM is where the most money is done. So it's like, what are you, I'm sorry, excuse me? How do you handle this negativity from that person that just wants to come in and tell you that everything that you're doing?
That's an easy question, man. That's very easy. That's simple. I would say the same thing, but there's different synonyms for it. The message would be, that sounds like an AM issue, or you need to keep that shit in the AM. So any different kind of way to say that, you know, like, I don't think you should work dinners anymore, or I think that sounds like you're trying to bring the AM shit to dinner, or, you know, it's obvious that somebody made a mistake this week and gave you a dinner shift because you obviously don't know what the fuck you're doing here, or, hey, wake up, this is the real world, this is what we do. You know, we're not here to serve eggs and bread and ask people for their preferences in coffee, which I love. We're here to make money, and we're here to, you know, to be grown-ups. I mean, why the fuck would I care that there's 2 napkins in the station when someone just ordered a $3,000 bottle of wine, you know? It's a different game, you know? You're never going to get the same amount of focus, the same amount of money that you do for AM shifts that you do for PM shifts. So things shift depending on what the focus is. AM is about getting people in and out with minute details, so it caters to that kind of server. It caters to the kind of server who is OCD about shit. I mean, there's OCD people in PM shifts too,
Of course.
but PM shifts are more suited to people who are out there to kill. We're out here to kill. You know, my mouth is bloody because I just upsold this fucking person. Why the fuck do I care that there's a pen here and there's a napkin here and somebody left a plate here? Nobody cares. You have to, you know, I would have a sincerely, I'd have a conversation with this person. If they got annoying, I'd be like, listen, man, you got to know where you are. You have to assimilate. We're not here selling fucking orange juice and sandwiches. We're here selling fucking wine and steaks and entrees. So you need to know where you are. You need to be appropriate. And then if it persisted, I would just make fun of them in front of everybody. Because there's nothing I like more than a little confrontation on the floor. It keeps things spicy and it keeps things real. Yeah. Keep that shit in the AM. That's what I would say.
There you go. That's your fan question for Mr. Hulk.
Yeah. That's it.
Last word, sir?
I hope everybody has fantastic coffee and they have a great day.
I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today. This coming week, we're going to be doing our first outing. That's what we're getting ready. We're super excited, so stay in touch for that. We look forward to doing a live per week so that you can also enjoy that too. We want to do pre-show, so 15 minutes where we actually get to amass those questions, talk to you, and we'll get to hang with you as well. And after that, we'll enjoy a lovely show. Thank you so much for joining us today. As always, thank you for listening.
Take care, everybody. Be good.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.